Hello, I'm Malcolm E. Brown, author, and my number one tip to you is keep a writer's notebook. Keep it, and one day it will keep you. It will help you get noticed by publishers. Well, what do you put into your book? Anything. It's all grist to your mill. But especially bear in mind the three maxims of lust, loathing, and lucre. Does it come into any of those? Or the newspaper headline writer's maxims? If it bleeds, let it lead. And also the global Google world zeitgeist of all web searches. Now, those are gargantuan data. So bear in mind those sorts of categories. But it's anything. It's people, attitudes, behaviour, location, things that you've read in newspapers, things in journals, all manner of things. Something in particular that affects you emotionally. So it may make you tearful, or it may make you happy. So it all goes into there, all material, all grist to your mill, goes into your compost heap, comes out as a fine, friable loam eventually, as you'll see. So, your writer's notebook. You might find, for example, a very fine sentence in there, such as that by Brian Hanrahan at the time of the Falklands conflict with aircraft going onto an aircraft carrier. I counted them all out, and I counted them all back. That sentence has a beautiful, balanced structure, very elegant. Of course, there are all sorts of literary conventions that you can apply, which can be helpful to you. But you're going to put things into your books, into your notebooks, also called commonplace books. They've also been used as reflexive aids by universities for centuries. Something goes in here, A, and B, another entry goes in here. And in some kind of fashion, you may be able to join them together into one seamless whole, and suddenly there is something new in the world, something which was not there before. And also, if there's some kind of serendipitous event, something happens to you, some sort of accident or whatever happens to you, there could be something truly new, something absolutely amazing. It might become the genesis of your bestseller. You might find the successor to a certain young wizard. And here's the thing, something else which is worth passing on. That, supposing there's something good which you notice, use it now, immediately, and people would just say, oh, she or he is just a hack. It's just nothing original about it. But if you wait a few years or a few decades, and you use it then, especially if you combine it with something else from your commonplace book, then suddenly it becomes absolutely new and shining again, something novel. I have been keeping commonplace books for 4 decades. Here are a few of them, just a few. There are rather more. And I have published this in Amazon. It's available on Amazon, and there is a link also on my website, which is www.malcolmebrown, that's malcolmebrown.co.uk. There's also a blog there and my publication list and such like, more about me. But also in this book, by the way, there's about 100 pages of tips on writing, about hundreds of tips for aspiring writers, especially those hoping for their first publication. But I would like to think it may be useful to more experienced writers too. So, that is my book, Winning Words, which is a writer's helper and a commonplace book to stimulate imagination. But the most important message that I have is this, that do keep a writer's commonplace book. It is far better for you than is my book. But if you do not have such a book, there are 4 decades worth in mine. There are about 5,000 entries divided into 55 categories, which I believe would be useful to writers. But I say again, it is your commonplace book which is most pertinent to you, best for you. If you have not started one, I do suggest that you start one today. Thank you very much for listening. This is Malcolm E. Brown signing off.